This is not one of those videos where I tell you the world is ending next week, and it is not one of those videos where I try to make you fearful, anxious or panicked, because that is not what preparedness should be. But I do think there are moments where you need to stop, look at what is happening around you and quietly ask yourself a simple question. If things got awkward again for a couple of weeks, how would my household actually cope? Because right now in the UK, there is talk again of possible supermarket disruption. There are concerns about supply chains around food production, and the thing we've talked about for a while, carbon dioxide shortages affecting parts of the food system, and around wider instability pushing up costs and putting pressure on normal life. Now, that does not mean everything is about to fall apart, but it does mean this is a very good reminder that modern life is far more fragile than most people think. Most people live as if their shelves will always be full. The card machine will always work. The fuel station will always be open. The pharmacy will always have what they need. The internet will always be up. And then something small shifts in the background. Supply issues, a system issue, a transport issue, and a sudden rush of panic buying. And people realize very quickly that they've built their whole routine on the assumption that nothing ever goes wrong. That is why I think now is a good time to tighten up the basics. Not because I'm telling you to panic, but because I think being prepared is always better than being reactive. Welcome back to Charlie Survival. If you care about calm UK preparedness without the noise, subscribe now and comment below of the one prep you still need to sort at home. Because today I want to walk through 8 simple preps I would not ignore right now. These are not extreme, they're not expensive. They're just the sorts of things that quietly make your life stronger if things get more chaotic again. So let's get into it. 1. Keep extra cash on hand. This one is not exciting, but it matters because when everything is working, no one thinks about cash. You tap your phone, you use your card, you pay online, easy. But if systems do go down, if apps stop working, if signal drops, if card readers are having problems, or if there is some kind of disruption that affects digital payments, then physical cash becomes useful very quickly. I'm not saying fill a safe with ridiculous amounts of money. I'm just saying have practical cash in the house, small notes, useful amounts. Enough for a short period if you need to buy fuel, groceries or essentials, and electronic systems when not behaving. Preparedness is often just having a backup for the things everyone assumes will always work. That is what cash is, a backup. Simple, boring and useful. 2. Keep your vehicle fueled and ready. If your vehicle is part of your life functions, then don't let it become a weak point, because the second people start worrying about prices, disruption, unrest, shortages or uncertainty, what happens? Queues, rushes, delays, people all trying to do the same thing at the same time. So if your tank is constantly close to empty, you're basically leaving a problem sitting there waiting to happen. I would much rather stay in the habit of keeping the vehicle topped up, not perfect, just sensible. And it is not only about fuel, think about the whole vehicle. Tyres, screen wash, phone charger, torch, power bank, bottle of water, warm layer, maybe a basic first aid kit. You do not need some dramatic bug out truck, you just need a vehicle that is ready to serve its purpose if life gets inconvenient. That alone gives you more options, and preparedness is often just about keeping your options open. 3. Build a proper pantry before you need one. This is one of the biggest gaps for most households, and it's where people tend to make emotional decisions. They wait until they feel nervous, then they rush to the shops. Then they spend more than they needed to. A good pantry solves that, and I do not mean a weird stash of food you never actually touch. I mean normal food. Food you already eat. Food you know how to cook. Food you can rotate through your regular life. White rice, pasta, oats, tinned food, soup, beans, crackers, long life milk, tea, coffee, cooking oil, sauces, easy wins. Things that actually make sense in your house. So the goal is simple. If the shops were awkward for 10 days or 2 weeks, could your household still eat calmly without stress? That is the question. Because sometimes shortages are not total shortages. Sometimes it is just a thinner range, missing items or higher prices. A pantry gives you breathing room, and once you have breathing room, you stop reacting emotionally to headlines. You become much more harder to shake. 4. Get your water sorted. Food matters, but water matters more, and a lot of people make the mistake of thinking if they cannot store months of water, there is no point doing anything. That is not true. Any improvement helps, even a modest supply of bottled water, some larger containers, and a couple of ways to filter or purify water if needed puts you in a much better position than the average person. Because if water becomes an issue, even briefly, it affects everything: drinking, cooking, tea, basic washing, hygiene, pets, children, everything. So think in layers. Store drinking water, a way to carry it, a way to filter it, a way to boil it, a way to make do if there was a short-term problem. That is what practical preparedness looks like. And if you want a simple resource for the gear side of this, my Charlie Survival Amazon kit list is in the description. And if you want the easiest place to start, grab the free blackout checklist in the pinned comment. If you want the full step-by-step version of how to build this properly for a UK household, that is exactly what the UK Crisis Readiness system is for. There are now nearly 50 active members inside. I've had a lot of positive feedback from it, and this is generally helping people feel calmer because they finally have a plan instead of just vague worry. One of the course members, Anne, sent a really kind testimonial about that exact thing. It is currently half price for Easter. The lower price ends on Sunday at midnight. 5. Cover the everyday basics people forget. A lot of people think preparedness is about the big obvious stuff, but in real life households often get caught out by the small things. Prescription medication, pain relief, toilet roll, soap, washing up liquid, pet food, baby supplies, batteries, cleaning products, contact lenses, toiletries, the dull things, the ordinary things, the things nobody wants to think about until they suddenly run low and realise the shops are awkward, busy, or out of what they need. So I would do a quiet audit of your home, walk room to room, kitchen, bathroom, medicine cupboard, utility area, pet supplies, and ask what we use all the time that would become a real nuisance if we could not get it easily next week. Then top up those sensibly, not in a panicked way, not in a hoarding way, just in a calm household management way. That is one of the most practical things you can do. 6. Don't forget your pets and dependents. Preparedness stops being abstract the moment you stop thinking only about yourself. If you have children, pets, elderly relatives, or anyone who depends on you, your planning needs to include them as well. Do you have enough food for the dog? Enough water for them too? Any medications they need? Anything for children if routines are disrupted? Enough to keep the people and animals in your care calm, fed, warm, and comfortable. Because a lot of people can rough things out themselves, but it gets very real very quickly when someone else depends on you being organised. And this is one of the reasons I think preparedness is actually a very grounded thing. It is not about fantasy, it is about responsibility, it is about reducing the number of problems your household has to face at the same time. That is what good prepping really is. 7. Have one realistic go bag and your key documents together. This does not mean you're running to the hills. It just means you're organised enough that if you had to leave home quickly or spend a night somewhere else, unexpectedly you would not be scrambling around like a headless chicken. A realistic go bag should be simple. Water, snacks, medication, phone charger, power bank, torch, spare underwear and socks, toiletries, warm layer, cash, basic copies of important info. Nothing dramatic, just a sensible bag with the basics, and along with that, get the key documents together. IDs, insurance, vehicle details, emergency contacts, any household info you would want quickly if you were stressed. Because when people are under pressure, they waste loads of energy trying to remember where things are. Preparedness removes that chaos. And honestly, sometimes reducing chaos is more valuable than buying more gear. 8. Get your errands done before everyone else reacts. This final one ties the whole thing together because one of the easiest ways to make life harder than it needs to be is leaving everything until the last minute. Pick up the prescriptions now, top up the food now, buy the batteries now, fill the vehicle now, sort the pet food now, get the water now, do the boring jobs while life is still calm. Because when people all react at the same time, even small disruptions feel much bigger than they are. That is how you end up with queues, empty spaces on shelves, delays, and everyone getting stressed at the same time. And most of the time, that is the part you're trying to avoid, not some dramatic collapse, just the friction, the inconvenience, the pressure, the rush. Preparedness is often just getting there before the crowd does. That is all, and that's why I think these 8 matter, because the UK already feels stretched. Food costs more, energy costs more, life feels tighter, and when people have very little margin, even a small disruption lands much harder. So if you can quietly build some margin in your household now, you are putting yourself in a much stronger position. So quickly, the 8 again. Extra cash, fueled vehicle, proper pantry, water sorted, everyday basics topped up, pets and dependents covered, go bag and documents ready, errands done early. That is a calm, practical foundation, and if you sort those, you are already ahead of a lot of people. If this video helped, hit like, hype and subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments which of these 8 you are tightening up first. And for your next step, the easiest one is the free blackout checklist in the pinned comment. That is the simplest practical starting point. If you want to go deeper and build a proper UK specific household plan, check out the UK Crisis Readiness system. That course is the full next level for people who want a proper step-by-step system rather than some random bits of advice. And with the Easter offer, there's only 2 days left before the price goes back up. If you just want to see the gear I recommend, my Charlie Survival Amazon kit list is linked in the description. Now, I've let YouTube decide what it thinks you will really enjoy next, so click this video on screen now, you won't be disappointed. Click it and I'll see you over there.